The training gym in Bangkok fell silent. It was June 2023 and martial arts champions from across Southeast Asia had gathered at the legendary Lumpinee Stadium for an international combat sports exhibition. When the Philippine delegation introduced their fighter, Kru Somchai, Thailand's most decorated Muay Thai champion with over 300 professional fights, let out a dismissive laugh that echoed through the entire facility. "Filipino fighter," Kru Somchai said in accented English, his voice dripping with condescension as he looked at the young man standing before him. "You want to compete in Muay Thai against real Thai fighters?" He circled around Miguel Ramos, studying him like a predator examining prey. "Look at you. Soft body, soft hands. Filipinos are too soft for Muay Thai. You island people eat rice and fish. Thai fighters are forged in poverty and pain. We train 8 hours every day since we are children. We condition our shins on banana trees until the bone becomes like iron." The room packed with fighters, trainers, and international media erupted in uncomfortable murmurs. Somchai continued warming to his theme. "Muay Thai is the art of 8 limbs, fists, elbows, knees, shins. It is the science of violence perfected over centuries. What do Filipinos have? Anise, that is stick dancing for tourists. Panukan Street brawling with no discipline." He laughed again, louder this time. "You want to step into a Muay Thai ring? Your soft Filipino body will break in the first round." Several Thai fighters in the room laughed and nodded in agreement. Kru Somchai pointed at Miguel's midsection. "Look at this. No definition, no hardness. Thai fighters have bodies like carved teak wood. We take low kicks that would shatter a normal man's leg and we don't even flinch. What happens when I kick your soft Filipino legs? You will crumple like wet paper." Miguel Ramos stood quietly, his face expressionless. At 26 years old, he was 5 feet 8 inches and weighed 154 pounds. He had grown up in Cebu, training in Filipino martial arts since he was 7 years old. His coach, Tadang Rodrigo, a 72-year-old master of Panantukan and Sikaran, stood silently in the corner. Miguel had heard this before. For years, people had dismissed Filipino fighting arts as irrelevant, outdated, inferior to modern combat sports. What Kru Somchai didn't know was that he had just made the biggest mistake of his fighting career. "Kru Somchai," Miguel said calmly in clear English, "would you be interested in making this exhibition more meaningful? A real fight. Traditional Muay Thai rules, 5 rounds. If Filipino martial arts are just dance, this should be easy for you." The legendary Thai champion's expression shifted from amusement to something harder. "A real fight. You challenge me." He looked around at the assembled fighters and media. "You understand what this means? This is not sparring. This is not practice. In a real Muay Thai fight, people get broken, bones break, careers end. You are willing to accept this?" Miguel nodded once. "I am." Kru Somchai smiled. A cold, dangerous smile. "Tomorrow night here at Lumpinee, 5 rounds, traditional Muay Thai rules. I will show the world why Filipinos should stay in the Philippines." The room erupted in excited chatter. A real fight between a Thai legend and a Filipino challenger. International media immediately began making calls. This was going to be watched by millions. 24 hours later, Lumpinee Stadium was packed beyond capacity. His body looked carved from stone, every muscle defined, his legs like tree trunks from a lifetime of conditioning. At 48 years old, he showed no signs of age, only accumulated power and experience. The crowd roared with approval, chanting his name. Miguel entered next, accompanied by Tadang Rodrigo. He performed a simplified version of respect, bowing to all 4 corners. Compared to Kru Somchai, he looked young, almost fragile. His body showed athletic conditioning, but none of the intimidating hardness of the Thai champion. Several Thai fighters at ringside exchanged knowing looks. This was going to be a massacre. The referee called both fighters to the center. Kru Somchai looked down at Miguel with cold eyes and said in English, loud enough for the front rows to hear, "I will try not to end your career, but you asked for this. Remember that." Round 1 began and Kru Somchai came out exactly as everyone expected. He advanced with the methodical pressure that had broken hundreds of opponents. He threw a low kick to Miguel's lead leg, the signature weapon of Muay Thai, designed to accumulate damage, destroy mobility, chop down the opponent like a tree. The kick landed with a sickening crack. The crowd roared. Several Filipino supporters winced, but something was wrong. Miguel didn't react the way fighters usually reacted to that kick. There was no visible pain, no instinctive pulling away. He absorbed it and immediately stepped forward, closing distance in a way that wasn't standard Muay Thai footwork. Kru Somchai threw another low kick harder this time. Same result. Miguel ate it and pressed forward. For the first 2 minutes, Kru Somchai controlled the ring, landing low kicks and push kicks, taps, using his superior reach and experience, but he couldn't create the separation he wanted. Every time he tried to establish his range, Miguel slipped inside using footwork that didn't match any Muay Thai style the Thai champion had ever seen. The movements were tight, angled, efficient, coming from Filipino martial arts principles designed for close-quarters combat. Then at the 2-minute mark, Miguel did something that made the entire stadium gasp. As Kru Somchai threw his signature right elbow strike, Miguel didn't block it the way Muay Thai fighters block elbows. He redirected it using a technique called gunting from Filipino martial arts, a simultaneous block and strike that targets the attacking limb itself. His forearm met Kru Somchai's elbow at an angle that sent a shock through the Thai fighter's arm. It wasn't a defensive move. It was a counterattack to the weapon itself. Kru Somchai pulled back, shaking his arm, surprised. That technique wasn't in any Muay Thai manual. He pressed forward again, throwing a left kick followed by a right knee. Miguel slipped the kick and instead of backing away from the knee, moved into even closer range where elbows and knees became difficult to generate power. At this distance closer than Muay Thai's optimal range, Miguel unleashed a combination that came from Palantukan, a rapid-fire series of close-range punches. Elbow strikes and forearm shots that landed on Kru Somchai's ribs and arms before the Thai champion could create space. The round ended with Kru Somchai clearly winning on points. But something had shifted. He walked back to his corner with a troubled expression, speaking rapidly in Thai to his cornermen. "His techniques aren't normal," he said. "When I strike, he attacks my weapon. He doesn't fight at Muay Thai range. He comes too close. What is this style?" Round 2 exposed the problem more clearly. Kru Somchai was trying to fight at traditional Muay Thai range, the distance where elbows, knees, and kicks could generate maximum power. But Miguel had been trained in Filipino martial arts which were designed for even closer combat situations. Every time the Thai champion tried to establish his range, Miguel collapsed the distance using footwork and entries from Panantakan and Sikrin. In Muay Thai, there's a concept called the clinch when fighters grab each other and battle for position using knees and off-balancing techniques. Kru Somchai was a master of the Muay Thai clinch. But when he secured a clinch position on Miguel, something unexpected happened. Miguel didn't fight the clinch the way Muay Thai fighters do. He used techniques from Demog, the Filipino grappling art. While Kru Somchai tried to control Miguel's head and throw knees, Miguel attacked his base, his balance, his structure using leverage principles that the Thai fighter had never encountered. Within 15 seconds of clinching, Miguel had reversed position and landed 3 rapid knees to Kru Somchai's body before the referee separated them. The Thai champion looked genuinely surprised for the first time in years. These weren't Muay Thai techniques. This was something different, something his decades of experience hadn't prepared him for. By round 3, Kru Somchai's frustration was visible. His low kicks, the weapon that had destroyed countless opponents, were landing, but Miguel's legs weren't breaking down the way they should. What the Thai fighter didn't understand was that Filipino martial artists trained leg conditioning differently using techniques from Sikrin Filipino kicking art that emphasize mobility and resilience over pure hardness. Miguel's shins weren't as conditioned as Somchai's, but his nervous system and pain tolerance had been trained through different methods. Methods designed for fighters who might need to keep moving after being injured. The tide turned dramatically midway through round 3. Kru Somchai threw his trademark combination, left low kick, right cross, left elbow. It was a sequence that had knocked out 27 opponents. Miguel avoided the kick using angular footwork from a screamer slipped inside the cross and as the elbow came. He executed a technique called destructions from Filipino martial arts, simultaneously blocking the elbow while striking the attacking arm's nerve cluster with a precise forearm shot. The crack was audible throughout the stadium. Kru Somchai's arm went momentarily dead. The Thai legend stumbled back and for the first time in his 300-fight career showed visible pain and confusion on his face. Miguel pressed forward, immediately not giving him time to recover. Using combinations from Panukan, the Filipino boxing art, he landed a rapid series of strikes, a left hook to the body, a right uppercut, a spinning back fist that caught Somchai off guard, and a left elbow that opened a cut above the Thai champion's eye. The stadium fell silent. Kru Somchai, the man who had never been seriously hurt in the ring, was bleeding. More shocking, he was backing up, defensive for the first time. The round ended with Miguel clearly dominating the last 2 minutes, and the Thai corner was in crisis mode trying to stop the bleeding and figure out how to deal with a fighting style they did and understand. Round 4 was when everything changed. Kru Somchai came out desperate now, his pride and legacy on the line. He abandoned his technical approach and came forward with aggression, throwing power shots, trying to overwhelm Miguel with the sheer force that had always been his ultimate weapon. But desperation made him predictable. Miguel had been trained by Tadang Rodrigo in a principle fundamental to Filipino martial arts: defang the snake. Don't just beat your opponent. Systematically destroy their weapons, their ability to fight. Every time Kru Somchai threw his devastating low kick, Miguel checked it not just to block, but to damage the kicking leg itself, slamming his shin into Somchai with precise timing. Every time the Thai champion threw an elbow, Miguel's destructions targeted the arm. Every time Somchai advanced, Miguel countered not just his attacks, but his structure, his base, his ability to generate power. 2 minutes into round 4, Kru Somchai threw a desperation flying knee, a spectacular technique that had won him 3 championship fights. Miguel saw it coming, moved offline using a scray of footwork, and as the Thai champion landed off balance, Miguel executed a sweep that came straight from Jumog. Kru Somchai, the man who had never been taken down in his career, hit the canvas. The stadium erupted in shocked gasps. A Thai legend down on the mat in his own country, in his own sport, at the hands of a Filipino fighter using techniques that don't work in real fighting. Kru Somchai got up immediately, his pride refusing to let him stay down. But something had broken, not physically, but mentally. He had spent his entire life believing Muay Thai was the ultimate striking art, that Filipino martial arts were cultural performance. People and millions watching worldwide, he was being systematically dismantled by those exact techniques. The round ended with Miguel controlling every exchange. The corner threw in the towel before round 5 could begin. Kru Somchai, sitting on his stool, waved them off at first, but his cornermen were firm. His left arm was compromised from the destructions. His lead leg was damaged from the checked kicks, and his face showed the accumulation of damage from techniques he had never learned to defend. The referee raised Miguel's hand. The stadium sat in stunned silence for several seconds, then erupted, not in anger, but in appreciation. They had just witnessed something unprecedented. A fighting system they had dismissed as irrelevant had proven itself against one of the greatest Muay Thai champions in history. What happened next broke the internet and changed combat sports forever. In the post-fight interview, Kru Somchai did something remarkable. With blood still on his face and his left eye swelling shut, he approached Miguel in front of all the cameras and bowed deeply. The traditional Thai gesture of profound respect. "I was wrong," he said in English, his voice heavy with emotion. "I called your art dancing. I called you soft. I called Filipinos weak. I was arrogant. What you showed me tonight is not dancing. It is science I didn't understand. It is techniques I never learned to defend. You were not soft. You were precise." He placed his hand on Miguel's shoulder. "I have trained Muay Thai for 43 years. Tonight, a Filipino fighter taught me that I still have much to learn." The video of that moment went viral instantly. Within 24 hours, it had 100 million views across social media platforms. But more importantly, it sparked a revolution in combat sports. Gyms across Thailand, the birthplace of Muay Thai, began seeking Filipino martial arts instructors. Major MMA organizations invited specialists in Panukan, Sikrin, and Damag to teach seminars. Academic researchers began studying Filipino fighting systems not as cultural artifacts, but as legitimate combat sciences. Within 6 months, Miguel was invited to teach at Lumpinee Stadium, the first non-Thai to be given that honor. Kru Somchai became his student and biggest advocate. "I spent my life believing Muay Thai had all the answers," the Thai legend said in a documentary filmed months later. "Miguel showed me that mastery isn't about having all the answers. It's about respecting systems you don't understand and being willing to learn from those you dismissed." Today, Filipino martial arts are studied in Muay Thai gyms across Thailand. The techniques that were once mocked as stick dancing are now recognized as sophisticated combat principles that complement and enhance traditional striking arts. Miguel Ramos became a world champion, but more importantly an ambassador for Filipino martial heritage. Tadang Rodrigo, Miguel's elderly coach, said it best in an interview after the fight. "We never needed validation. We knew what our ancestors left us. But sometimes the world needs to see before it believes." Miguel didn't win because Filipino arts are better than Muay Thai. He won because he showed that respect and understanding are more powerful than arrogance and dismissal. The softest water wears down the hardest stone, not through hardness, but through persistence, adaptability, and knowing where to apply pressure. The fighter they called too soft had proven that in combat, as in life, true strength isn't about hardness. It's about intelligence, adaptability, and the courage to trust in knowledge passed down through generations, even when the world calls it irrelevant. Miguel didn't win because Filipino martial arts were better than Muay Thai. He won because he understood that true strength isn't about being the hardest, it's about being the smartest. Somchai had spent 40 years building power through conditioning. Miguel had spent 20 years learning precision through intelligence. In the end, the soft Filipino proved that adaptability beats hardness and knowledge passed down through generations defeats arrogance every single time. Before you go, if this story made you feel something, if it reminded you of home, family, or the Filipino spirit, please tap the like button. It really helps this channel reach more kababayans around the world. I'd also love to hear from you. Share your thoughts or your own experience in the comments. I read every single one. If you know someone who needs to see this today, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with them. And if you want more stories like this, stories that connect us, inspire us, and keep our roots alive, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Thank you for being here. This is more than a channel, it's a community. See you in the next story.